new job opportunities. So my name is Suk. I'm the marketing manager at Fast Jobs, and I'll be your host for today. So before we get started, just some housekeeping matters. It'll be great if you can keep your video on so that we can see everyone on the call, and we're all not looking at black squares. I think that's always a bit sad. Please also keep yourself muted. So this is more on the consideration for all the people on the call because there's quite a few people. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat box, and we'll be taking the questions at the end of each section with the training providers. So if at any one time you need to take a break, just feel free to go for it. And we will also be having some polls throughout the call, just to keep things a little bit more interesting and interactive. So to participate, just vote on the poll when it appears on the right-hand side of your screen, so that you can actually, feel a little bit more, basically share your opinion with us as well. So without further ado, let me jump into the agenda for today. So we'll be kicking off with an introduction to Fast Jobs, so you know a little bit better about who we are and why we are creating this webinar for you. I will also be sharing about the importance of upskilling and a simple guide on how to decide what course is right for you. After which we'll be deep diving into the 3 areas we've selected to cover today. So it'll be admin, service, retail, and then digital marketing and early childhood education. So we will start with each industry's insights, and then we will move into a more detailed sharing by each training provider that we've invited today. So we've got with us Training Vision Institute, Smart Academy, and KLC International Institute. So each training provider will be taking questions at the end of their presentation. So you can pop your questions into the chat box or unmute yourself directly to ask them at the end of the session. Okay, so first of all, a brief introduction about what is Fast Jobs. We are actually Singapore's #1 non-executive job portal, where hundreds of jobs are freshly posted every day. So we are available as a mobile app, as well as a website where you can find job ads from verified employers. And on the app, you can actually search for jobs near home by keying in your postal code and use other filters such as job type, salary range, and apply within 1 minute. So you can just tap on the apply now button. So if you don't have a resume, don't worry. Our app actually has a create resume function where it will generate a very, very functional and beautiful PDF resume for you after you've completed your profile. So here are some of the top companies that are hiring on Fast Jobs, and I'm very sure that you find more than 1 or 2 of them very familiar to you. So one thing we always emphasize on Fast Jobs is that all the companies that we have are verified with their UEN number before they are allowed to post. So there'll be no job scams here. So for all of you who are raising your hands, right, you can actually just pop your question into the chat box first, and we'll come around to it later. Okay. So here's a little bit of an introduction about FastLearn. So as a job platform that's been around for 7 years, we actually see the cycle of the job seekers firsthand. So be it from someone that is applying for their first job at the start of their career, or is it someone that's more experienced but find yourself stuck on what you want to do next. So this is why we've created FastLearn, which is a sub-brand that focuses on upskilling and learning. So on FastLearn, where you can see on the app itself or also on the website, you can find different kinds of courses we've curated just for you. So you can search and filter the courses based on your interests, sectors, duration, and whether or not is it skills future credit claimable. And then you can directly register your interest for the courses that you've selected straight on the app or on the website itself. Then the training provider will actually get in touch with you to personally understand your needs better so that they can make the correct recommendation on what course you should be taking. So before we move into the next slide, I'd just like to find out from you, how many of you actually know what is upskilling? So we're going to launch a quick poll. If you can see the pop-up here that has come up, it would be great if you can just let us know if you know what is upskilling. Okay, I'll just leave it on for another couple of seconds. Overall, so far, I think it's quite good. Most of you know what is upskilling already. Okay. Okay, great. I think most of you are quite aware of exactly what upskilling is. So, but in any case, there are some people that are saying that they are not sure. So that's why you're in the right place here for this webinar, and we'll be explaining a little bit more. Okay, so what is upskilling? It is basically the process of learning new skills to enhance your current skill set. So if you play any video games, think of it as collecting new skills so that you can up your experience level and be better equipped to fight the big boss at the end of the game lah. So upskilling is basically the same thing. So with continuous learning, you can expand your abilities and close skill gaps. So making yourself stay a lot more relevant and more employable to companies. This is very important now because it will actually help you stand out from the competition when you're searching for jobs. So, as everyone knows, actually the job market has always been very competitive, and employers are looking out for the best candidates. So, when you upskill, right, they are able to see that you are more relevant in the knowledge and the information you have to perform the job. So it also ensures that your capabilities stay relevant to the current market realities. I think over the last 2 years, we all know, like, because of COVID, right, a lot of things have changed in the market. So it's important to upskill so that you're still relevant and then you know what's going on and can be a good employee. So upskilling also enhances your value and your knowledge. So it improves what you know, and also as a result will actually improve your employability. So things change very fast. That's why it's important to adopt a so-called lifelong learning mindset. Learning never stops, right? So this is why it's important to go for courses whenever you can. So workers who upskill are likely to exhibit much stronger problem-solving activities and a much higher level of productivity. So they overall have a better performance and hence are much more valuable in companies. Okay, so how do you pick the right course for you? So this is a question we get a lot from our job seekers, because with so many courses available, right? What do you know is right and what do you know is suitable? So this is a simple 5-step assessment you can do for yourself. I'm just going to mute. Okay, thanks. So this is a simple 5-step assessment that you can do for yourself. The first one is always ask yourself why. So why are you deciding to upskill? Why are you going to look at courses, or why do you want to, learn something new? Are you studying to extend your existing skill set, or are you learning something completely new because you want to do a career switch? Once you found the reason for this, you will have better clarity on what kind of courses to go for. So, for example, if you're looking to expand your current skill set, right, then you can look for more in-depth or specialized courses that will help you learn more about what you already know or already have experience in. However, if you're looking to learn something completely new to prepare for a career change, you can start with beginner or introductory courses to get a taste of what the subject is like before you go into, a longer or more specialized course that may take more time. So introductory courses can be just like, one day or like 2-3 hours, just to get an idea of, what it's like lah. Okay. The second step is to do a bit of self-assessment and get some awareness. So once you have a so it's basically asking yourself some simple questions, right? So what kind of personality type are you? You can try taking some personality tests to kind of define that. Also to ask yourself what motivates you. What are your interests? So for example, let's say if you're interested in F&B, but you've never done anything like that, right? Maybe you can look at, why you're interested in F&B. Is it coming from a personal experience, or, the fact that you like food, something like that? Also ask yourself what motivates you. What are your interests? Because right, at the end of the day, it's quite important to find something that you have a personal interest in, so that it doesn't feel so difficult. It's just imagining, like, okay, if you have completely no interest in, let's say, like security, then you die go and do a security course, right? Of course you will feel quite sian after a while lah. Okay. Lastly, one another question that you can ask yourself is, what kind of experience do you have in the previous jobs that you've done? And what kind of part of that job, what are you naturally good at? Are you naturally good at like talking to people, like it comes without much effort to you? Are you naturally good at looking at data with numbers? Things like that can help you define your strengths and narrow down the kind of courses that you should look at. Okay. And then step 3 is research. So once you have a better understanding of yourself from the 2 steps earlier, you can start researching for the courses that are aligned with your personal assessment. So of course, joining this webinar is a great first step. And other methods can be to look at the other different courses on FastLearn. And you can even register your interest with the course and let the training provider contact you directly to have a further conversation. Okay, step 4 is the reality check. So after you've done all your research, right, it's important to ask yourself, actually, is your decision realistic? because there are lots of factors that you should always consider before really signing up and going ahead with the course. So things like your availability, how much time do you have, the financial capability, can you afford this course, do you have enough skills future credits to claim for this course, your current education and professional qualifications, as well as family commitments. So like if you need to take care of the kids, right, will you be able to have enough time, or will your income be disrupted lah? So these are the things that you need to have a reality check and have an honest conversation with yourself. And then finally, step 5 is to evaluate and take action. So the final and most crucial step is to evaluate all your different findings, and then review the options available. Shortlist the top 3 courses maybe that you find most relevant. And then once you settle on a course, you can actually apply and get started. So now that you have a better idea on how to select the right courses, we're going to share why we've chosen these 3 training providers today, and basically what is the purpose that we have here. So at Fast Jobs, we strongly believe in mid to long-term career development, and based on our platform data and observations, demand is steadily growing in the following sectors and skill sets. So the first one is, of course, around admin, service, and retail sector. The second is the digital marketing skill set. And then the final one is around early childhood education. So today we have these 3 established training providers with us: Training Vision Institute, Smart Academy, and KLC International Institute, who will be sharing in detail what kind of courses they have to help you succeed in these in-demand sectors. So we'll be starting with the industry insights for admin and retail before I hand over the mic to Pat from TVI. But first, let me just do a quick poll on how many of you have actually worked in admin, service, or retail before. Yep, you can fill out the poll that we've just launched on the corner of your screen. So let us know if you've worked in admin, service, or retail jobs before. These are actually the so-called most common jobs that we have on Fast Jobs itself. So very popular across all ages, across all different demographic as well. So I see most of you have done something like this before. That's great. So let me share a little bit about the insights that we have. In fact, everybody has worked in this before so far, which is quite interesting. Nobody has not worked in admin, service, or retail before. That's cool. Okay, so first of all, we have noticed that the number of admin and retail jobs posted from the last quarter, 2021 Q4, all the way to Q1 this year, so that's January to March, has increased by a good 10%. So last quarter, even though it's the end of the year, right, where you expect retail to be very strong, we saw about 3,000 jobs posted. But this quarter, also because of the good news of the reopening, we do see a steady rise in the increase of jobs, so which is why we think it's quite important if you want to come into this sector. Okay, so this is a median salary for people in the admin, retail, and admin, retail industry and service industry. So last year we saw that the median salary is actually around 2,200, but this year, just in the span of a couple of months, we saw a 5% increase to now is currently 2,300. So also just to share a little bit, the top 5% of the salaries in the sector, it can go up to $4,000, and it used to be 3,008 in 2021. So this is definitely a positive sign, and we do see this as a strong growth in this group. So some of the common job titles that we have will be like, secretaries, admin executives, operation admin executive, front desk executive. So they're very much around service, admin, and then some retail as well. So when you're searching on our job platform and you have no idea where to start, right, these are some of the positions that you can key in, and then you'll be able to see a lot of different kinds of openings available for you. Okay, so now we've reached Training Vision Institute. So basically, we've been sharing about the industry insights, and I would like to invite Pat from Training Vision Institute. Is she here?
Hi, hello.
Hi, Pat. Great, thank you. Okay, so Pat will be sharing more in detail, and I'll hand over the mic to her. Pat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So hi everyone, good afternoon. Let me introduce myself. I'm Pat Bation from Training Vision Institute, and I'm their Assistant Marketing Manager. So before we begin with the presentation, let me quickly introduce to you Training Vision Institute. Next slide, please. Okay, our vision is to be the leader in human and organizational development. And our mission is to maximize human potential through applied knowledge best practices and innovative mindset. As they have mentioned earlier, we specialize in retail and also service courses, focusing on workplace literacy, which is our English program, and also our retail service framework programs. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, this is a quick overview of our values. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so why Training Vision Institute? We have been in the market in the past 30 years. We have been launched in 1991. We are also an Edu Trust 4-year education institute, provided by the Committee of Private Education here in Singapore. We have trained 120,000 learners and counting, where there have been 700 corporate MNC and SME who trust Training Vision. We have 5 training campuses here in Singapore, okay? And we have 100 certified academics. So what we mean by academics is that these are our trainers. Our trainers are actual practitioners of what they are actually teaching. For example, our digital marketing trainers are really digital marketeers. Our service or leadership trainers are real managers and real experts in service and also retail industry. Okay, and we have 9 university partnership and institutes that we're currently partnering right now. Okay, so yeah, so next slide, please. Okay, so have been invited here to number 1, provide a quick overview of the Singapore in the, service industry. Okay, and of course, what are the following courses the Training Vision has been provided aligned with the service industry. So the service industry has continuously growing even during the pandemic. According to this Straits Times article, Singapore service sector revenue up to 16.6% in the second quarter in 2021. It is a growing industry, and if it's a growing industry, there are a lot of like job opportunities. The industry will definitely need a lot of manpower and also employees to help them further grow and hone the various functions that are located in such industry. So next slide, please. Okay. So this is the service sector at a quick glance. Okay. So as you can see here, the operating revenue of the service sector here in Singapore is around 3.272 billion, okay? And the operating expenditure as well, value added, operating surplus, and number of establishments that have been located here in Singapore that has running for under the service industry is around 219 and 415,000. So meaning to see it's a completely increasing industry. A lot of manpower is needed, and a lot of like employers or like employers are looking for like great employees or like candidates to like complete their manpower and further improve their capacity. Okay, next slide, please. And of course, under the service industry subset, there are a lot of like establishments. Like this includes retail industry, transportation, recreation, information, real estate, accommodation, and wholesale trade. So the service industry is composed of various and a lot of like establishments, and each of these function needs employees or like needs like people like you who can help them further expedite and further improve what they are offering right now, specifically for like the retail, and specifically for the transportation, etc. And of course, each of these employers will need a lot of like various skill sets that they're looking at in various employees as well. Okay, next slide, please. So here are the top service industry jobs in Singapore right now, according to Indeed.com. One of which is call center representative. Second is the bank teller. Third is the flight attendant. Fourth is personal trainer. Next one is server, retail sales associate, hairstylist, restaurant manager, hotel manager, and accountant. And if each of these has an annual income of around 30,000 Sing dollars per year. Okay, so of course everyone is looking for like every employer is looking for certain characteristics that every employee will need to have in order to get the job for each of these jobs. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so these are like the top skill sets for every service industry according to Salesforce. Number 1 will be persuasive speaking skills. Okay, so employers right now are looking for people who can communicate well, okay? Who can persuade people to like buy or persuade people to do an action. especially for people who are working in the retail industry. Second is the adaptability. As we may have known, employers are looking for people who are flexible, who has the right skill set or has the right mindset in order to do the job well. Okay. Third is the ability to use positive language. Of course, when you are in a customer facing type of job, you need to have like a good positive mindset. You need to like smile. You need to be customer service centric, etc. Fourth will be clear communication skills. In order for you to get ahead in the service industry, you need to know how to speak well. You need to communicate well with your clients and with the customers, right? And of course, patience. Of course, you need to have a good patience if you're dealing with a lot of like people, if you're dealing with a lot of like type of like consumers, etc. And of course, effective listening. Communicating goes two ways. Number one, you need to like speak well, but you also need to like effectively listen to a lot of people as well. Of course, the next step will be the knowledge that you have when it comes to the product, the knowledge that you have to the business that you are offering, and the knowledge that you have when it comes to like the personas or like the customer audience that you are dealing with. And of course, you also need to be very thick-skinned. This is aligned with the patients. Retail industry is very customer centric and very customer focused. Hence, you need to have a lot of like patience when you're dealing with your customers and when dealing with your management or your bosses. And of course, attentiveness, which is also aligned with listening. You need to really know how to listen. You need to know what your customer wants, and you need to know how you can further help them or further service them. And of course, time management. So these are just some of the top skill sets that the service industry is looking for according to Salesforce. Okay, so according to Salesforce as well, these are the top key expectations that the customers are looking for when it comes to the people that they're dealing with on a day-to-day. Okay, so 29% are expecting the retail team to deliver the promised value at the right price. 22% would like to deal with someone who can make it easy to do business online and offline. 21% recognize them as individuals who deserve personalized service. Again, they need someone who is attentive and also patient. 19% of them are looking for people who can provide products and services that meet their needs. And of course, 9% of them would want to make it easy to find information about products and services. Okay, and on the right picture over here, here are some of the most important qualities of a customer service representative. If you are keen into becoming one, 33% say that they're looking for someone who is efficient, who can answer questions or handles transactions quickly. 29% are looking for someone who is empowered, meaning to say who can handle requests without transfers or escalations. 70% of them says that they need someone who is courteous. Of course, we want to deal with someone who is always smiling, right? Who is always keen in like helping, who is always has the answers. And then 40% is of course human. They don't want robots. Okay, so they want to connect with customers personally and shows a lot of empathy. Okay, and 7% says that they would like to deal with someone who is consultative, meaning to say gives relevant information and products and experiences to them. So these are just some of the data that we had from Salesforce. And of course, these are also some of the key things that you need to know in order for you to fully be integrated to the service industry. And luckily, Training Vision Institute, we provide two main programs that can help you do this, okay? Number one is our Service Transformer program. The Service Transformer program aims to make Singaporeans excel in the service industry. So as you may know, employers are constantly in the lookout for someone who is work ready and who would like to be complete and do challenging but fulfilling roles. So the aim of this program is to turn Singaporeans into service ready and work ready individuals. And this is for people who would like to join the customer service industry, become retail managers, join the hospitality industry and professionals, And at the same time, if you complete this program, you have the chance to be part of the hospitality, F&B, customer service, and retail sales. Okay, so this program is for anyone who wants to go extra mile as a service professional to transform the customer experience and set the benchmark for service excellence. For example, if you're working right now in the service industry and you want to learn how you can further level up, for example, you're looking to get promoted, but you don't have the right skill sets yet in order to like go to the next level of your job, this is certainly the type of program that you will definitely need, because it will provide you with the right advice on how to go through with it, provide you with the right skill sets on how to fully function as a good customer service professional. Okay, so you will gain a full range of skills to deliver exceptional services and enable you to step up to take more challenging roles. So for example, if you want to learn how to implement the right operations to ensure service efficiency, then this is the program for you. If you want to respond to challenges in a timely and appropriate manner, meaning to say, if you want to like improve that part of your services or your skill sets, this is the job, this is the program for you. And if you want to improve your communication, communicate effectively with customers and project a positive professional service attitude at all times, then this program is definitely for you. Next slide, please. Thank you. So this is our program modules. Number one is the service leadership for ambassadors. Number two is the service excellence for ambassadors. Number three is the service planning and implementation for ambassadors. Okay. So number four is the service challenges for ambassadors. The next one is people and relationship management for ambassadors. And the next one is engage in service innovation, and of course, customer experience management for ambassadors. Again, this is for service leaders or service professionals who wants to improve their skill sets. And if, for example, you want to get promoted, you want to have the right certificate in order to tell to your boss that you can get promoted already, and you want to take your or accelerate your current skill sets to the next level, then definitely this is the program for you. So the original price is 2,226.60. However, Training Vision Institute, this is funded by Skills Future Singapore. You can get up to 70% subsidy. Okay, so if you are Singaporean, 40 years old and above, or PR, then you can get this program for only 769.90. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, now next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so another program that we have here that I think every one of you will be interested in is workplace literacy program. So Training Vision Institute has been offering this program for a very, very long time, and we have trained thousands of learners already when it comes to workplace literacy. So this is our flagship program when it comes to communication and English course. Okay, so our workplace literacy program, next slide, please, is designed to improve your English literacy, whether or not you're in the beginner level, intermediate, or advanced. Our aim is to ensure that you have the right communication skill set for you to be competitive in the workplace. Okay, if you're going back to our previous slides, right, some of those key soft skills that the employers are looking for are communication. You need to communicate well, you need to be service oriented, etc. And having confidence in English and having confidence in like speaking and writing in English can help you further accelerate your job. Okay, its purpose is to help learners gain access to better jobs and courses that are conducted in English. With the new blended workplace literacy, you can learn anywhere and anytime. Okay, next slide, please. So, okay, this program is divided into 3 levels. Number 1 is the beginner level. So if you have little or no knowledge of English, this program provides a strong foundation in English literacy for the workplace. This is perfect for people who want to learn basic oral and written English, learn to read and write in simple words or phrases, and improve your basic communication in daily context. Okay, so this is our beginner level. Okay, so next slide, please. Intermediate level. Okay, after the beginner level, we have the intermediate level. In the intermediate level, we have This is where you can gain the ability to understand routine work-related conversations. You will learn how to pronounce, you can widen your vocabulary. You'll be able to handle work that involves following oral and simple written instructions and interact with the public. Meaning to say, if you have minimum knowledge in English, through this intermediate level, you can already be customer facing. You can say basic English structures or sentences to your customers. Okay, and you will also be able to perform reading and writing tasks with reasonable accuracy to work to meet work needs. Okay, and of course we have the advanced level. This program is for helps you understand routine work related conversations, clarify general meaning, and communicate in both social and work settings. You'll be able to handle work that involves following oral and written instructions and interact fluently in the public. You'll be also able to perform reading and writing tasks involving logs, reports, and forms. So of course, at the beginner level, you will learn basic oral and written. Intermediate, you will go with pronunciation, widen your vocabulary and such. And in advanced, you'll be able to like perform and read and of course create reports. Of course, this workplace literacy, hence it's called workplace literacy, is like developed and designed for people who would want to use English in the workplace setting or during their work. So it is very focused on that type of like segment. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so our classes are divided into three parts. Number one is pre-class. Before you come into the in-class or the facilitated learning, we will provide you with a learning management system where you will be able to learn a new set of vocabulary and get familiar with pronunciation and basic sentence structure. So we won't throw you in the class right away. We will actually provide you with some basic lessons first using our learning management system. In there, you'll be able to get familiar with pronunciation, basic sentence structure, and other related topics. Okay, next slide, please. And then again, we have the in-class facilitate and drill on new knowledge. This is where you can practice your vocabulary and of course your grammar, reading comprehension, listening, and comprehension. In the in-class, you will be having a trainer who can guide you. Our trainers are all very friendly as well. They can also speak in Chinese. So if any one of you who knows someone who really cannot speak in English, don't worry, our trainers can speak in Chinese or Mandarin as well, and they can certainly help those students, okay? Okay, and then the third part will be the post-class. Okay, then next slide, please. Okay, post-class, okay. So we understand that learning a new language is not easy. That's why we divided it into three parts. So we have a post-class, and the main objective of the post-class is to make it compulsory for each learners to set aside to review and practice what they have learned. Learning a new language is not easy, okay? So we designed it in a way that it will really stick with the learner. It will really stick to the person who is trying to learn, etc. That's why we have the pre-class to like prep you up. We have the in-class to like have someone in there and guide you. And then we have the post-class to ensure that you're actually using or you have actually learned what you have learned in the previous lessons. Okay, next slide, please. Of course, this program has up to 90% subsidy. Okay, so if you are 40 Singaporean, 40 years old and above, you can get this program for only $164. Okay, and then yeah, 21 to 39, you can get this program for only 493. If you are a long-term visit plus, you can get this program for up to 70% subsidy as well. Okay. All right. So for further, if you have further questions regarding this later, I'll show a QR code if you're interested in signing up for this program. Okay. All right. And then you can further talk to our program consultants regarding it. So as you can see, how can workplace literacy help you find a job here in Singapore? As you can see here, some of these are examples of like job sightings or like job listings that employers are been posting around. And as you can see here, our workplace literacy is actually applicable to jobs that are property agents. So if you want to become a property agent, you can actually use the workplace literacy and numeracy as a way to like get the property agent job. Next slide, please. Okay. And if you want to become an early childhood care, or if you want to become a preschool teacher, etc., you can use your you can use your WPL average score of SOA 5 in order to get this job as well. Okay, next slide, please. And of course, if you want to become a preschool or like a trainee infant care teacher, you can also use this workplace literacy in order to apply. Okay, so here are some of those examples. And if you want to become an SBS Transit bus captain, you can also use the WPL. All right. Okay, as well as preschool teachers. So as you can see here, our program is usable. If you want to become a preschool teacher, if you want to become a bus captain, and if you want to really join the service industry. And this is a very usable program for you and for you as well, okay? Yeah. Okay, so if you're interested in joining our upcoming intakes for both service transformer and workplace literacy, flash here is the QR code. You can also go to the link flashed here, okay? So you go to this link and use the QR code, complete the form, and our program consultants will be getting in touch with you, okay? Do you guys have, yeah, that's it for my presentation. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, Pat. I'm just
Thank
gonna
you.
leave this QR code up here for a little bit more in case you need some time to scan the QR code before we move into Q&A. So are there any questions that you'd like to ask Pat? Let me just take a look at the chat box. If you have any questions, just feel free to unmute yourself and ask. If not, you can actually type it into the chat box. If you're feeling a little bit shy, that's fine as well.
Okay, thank you so much. If you guys have further questions, yeah. Any exams? Yes, there are exams, but those are guided. Mm-mm. For further clarity, our program consultants will be keeping in touch with you. So scan this QR code now or go to the link. Okay?
Okay. Pat, I have some questions that are like FAQ from previous experience, right? So what are some of where are the school locations?
Okay, that's a good question. So our workplace literacy program is available at our Jurong East campus at GEM. Okay. We also have a campus here at Hogang. Okay. And we also have a campus here at Woodlands. Okay, and companies. Okay, so maybe yeah, so we have a campus at the Jurong East, Hogang campus, and Woodlands and companies, all of which are nearby our MRT stations. Okay, maybe I'll quickly put the addresses here as well. Okay, if you are interested into visiting us.
Another question here. Are you offering workplace numeracy course?
Currently, right now, we don't have, but um, our program consultants will connect with you in case you guys, in case we open up classes. Okay.
Okay. And then somebody asked before, do I need to take a test before the WPL course? How much is the test?
Okay, so yes, you need to take the test before taking the courses. The reason being is that we need to assess which level is best suitable for you. So where to take the test is in our at Lifelong Learning Institute at Yunus Road, okay, and also at our Hogang campus, okay. So the reason why we need to take the test is because we need to assess if you need to take the beginner level, intermediate level, or advanced level. So we have two test centers, one at Lifelong Learning Institute and one at our Hogang campus. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I think that's about it. Are there any more questions for Pat here before we move on to the next sector? No? Final call? No more? Okay, Pat, I think we're good here. Thank you
You
so
so
much
much.
for
Thank you so
sharing.
much, everyone. Bye.
See you. Bye bye. Okay, so now we will be moving on to the digital marketing insights, followed by a sharing from Ashley from Smart Academy. So I just want to find out from you, how many of you actually know what digital marketing is? So we'll be launching a poll, and I read from the comments in the chat box that, it disappeared very fast. So we'll make sure to keep the poll on for a little bit longer, so that you are able to put in. Okay, Lester, your question, right? Actually, Pat has gone off the call, but we will forward this question on to her, so that they can get in touch with you after this. Okay. Yep. So the poll is open now for everyone to do. It should pop up on the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And then you will get a little question there. Okay, so it seems most of you actually know. Some people don't know, and some people are also they know a little bit but not too sure. But the majority is leaning towards no. Okay, okay. So yes, we can keep the poll on for a little bit, but maybe I will also start jumping into the slides because just to keep to the timing. Okay. So basically, Smart Academy is the one that will be going into more detail. But for us right now, I'd like to share a little bit about the insights around marketing, digital marketing jobs that we have. So in comparison from last quarter to this quarter, we saw a 20% increase in jobs, which is pretty high. At the end of last year, we're looking at 190 jobs, and for the beginning of this year, we are looking at 230 jobs. So this is definitely a clear indicator that these jobs are in demand, especially now that things are reopening and businesses are gearing up to grow their business lah basically. So the median salary for the marketing industry, we're looking at around 2,800 now, which is a 12% increase from last year. And then you can actually see that the growth is very strong. And just to share, the top 5% for marketing is actually $4,000, also up 5% from last quarter at 3,800. So this is also a positive sign, that employers are definitely much more willing to invest in marketing now that the industry is opening up. Okay, and some of the common job titles that you can hunt for on Fast Jobs are marketing assistant, of course, sales and marketing representative, junior marketing associate, communications executives. So these are the ones that are very popular. Once you key in marketing or even just the keyword marketing, right, you will be able to see a list of jobs that are available. So now we would like to welcome Ashley from Smart Academy to go through a little bit about digital marketing and why it's important for everyone to pick up this transferable skill that you can use across all different kinds of jobs that you have. So I just want to check, Ashley, you're here, right? I saw you just now.
Yes, I'm here. Thanks so
Okay.
much. Yes.
Awesome. Let me just hop into the first slide. Okay, Ashley, over to you.
Yes, okay, thank you. So hi everyone. I'm Ashley here. I'm actually the operations manager at Smart Academy lah. So if you actually sign up for our courses, chances are very highly likely you will be speaking to me at some point of the process throughout the course lah. So I'll give a very quick presentation so that hopefully we have more time for the Q&A, because I think that's probably the part where all of you are really itching to ask questions to find out more lah. So I'll start my presentation by introducing Smart Academy. So we are actually a very young company. We are founded only in 2018. So right up to now, 2022, we are only about 4 years old. But don't look at how young we are. We actually are already a very leading tech educator and digital career transformer in Singapore lah. We have made a big, I would say a pretty big impact with the courses and all the value added services that we offer lah. So I think in the next slide, you will be able to see the range of courses that we have. But before we, oh sorry, I didn't want to move to the next slide here. Yeah, before we actually look at what courses we offer, right, I actually also wanted to talk about why we are the first choice. I think you can see on the slide that we actually expand our trainees' workforce capabilities and supercharge their careers. But the slide didn't really mention how. So listen into this part, because actually for Smart Academy, right, we do offer a full range of services, which actually starts even before you actually sign up for our courses lah. So I think the user journey for wanting to sign up for courses is you usually try to research about the course, try to find out whether that is the correct course for you. I think Fast Jobs and Suk earlier shared a little bit about how to choose the right course, right? So if you're actually questioning yourself like which course you should actually pick, your journey with us actually starts right from the moment you visit our website, like, because we do have a part on our website where you can write in to inquire. And if you do so, we will actually reach out to you to ask you like what aid and assistance you require to understand the courses that we have better. And also we do provide advice on what is the best course that you want for probably the career or the job scope that you would like to do next time in the future. And even after you finish your courses with us, right, we do actually have career support and industry placement assistance available. Those will be covered in a later slide later on. So do keep up for that slide if you are interested to find out more about the value-added services that we offer lah. Okay, so next slide. Yes. So on this slide, right, you'll see that right now we actually have 5 in-demand tech courses. Currently, intro to blockchain and digital and the design thinking courses are new. Actually, in June, we just launched our intro to blockchain course and our design thinking courses lah. So the trainees who are attending these courses now actually attending the pioneer intake of the courses. And to date, right, data analytics and intro to digital marketing courses have been our 2 most popular courses lah. I think one thing I can say is about why intro to digital marketing is getting more popular is because COVID-19, right, has made it much harder for physical sources of marketing to actually reach out to a lot of the consumers, a lot of customers that business wants. So a lot of businesses actually tap on to starting to reach out to their customers through digital means. And that's where the demand for our intro to digital marketing courses have grown from. Next slide, please. Yes, so if you actually attend the lessons with us at Smart Academy, right, our instructors are actually all experienced professionals from the working world. That means that we have selected these instructors, right, from those who actually have years of experience already working in the industry. And we actually do so in this way, right, because we want to make sure that whatever we are teaching you through our courses are actually relevant and are what is actually being used in the workplace. Yes, and our teaching assistants are also professionals from within the industry. So you can see from the slide here that all the collective knowledge of all our instructors and teaching assistants actually add up to more than 30 years of experience. So if you actually sign up for our courses, I do have a small piece of advice is that do try and just tap on the trainer's expertise, ask them a lot of questions. The questions that you ask, you can actually reach out to the trainers and the teaching assistants even outside the training course hours, and you can actually bounce off ideas with them to get more insights about what the trainers and the teaching assistants are currently doing in your job. So I think that is the access to the trainers and the TAs is a very valuable thing lah. Next slide. Yes. So up to date, right, we have actually impacted more than 6,000 people across Southeast Asia. And what I want to highlight is that this impact that we have is not only through the courses that we offer, because we do have career development workshops as well as webinars and other programs that we collaborate with our partners in order to give. So this impact actually comes from everyone who is inspired by what we have done with all of our offerings as well as our courses lah. So if after this talk you feel inspired maybe to sign up for a course either with us or maybe with another training provider, right, you'll add on to our list of people who have been impacted by us lah. Okay, next slide. Yes, and to actually introduce a little bit about some of the impact that we have on our trainees, right, we do have video testimonies from 3 of our trainees. So this first video here is actually a sharing by Shirley. She took our data analytics course in November last year, and she will share with you how the course actually impacted her job growth and prospect lah. So can we play the video?
Hi, my name is Shirley. I was from the social service industry, helping individuals with disabilities to find employment. Completing the Smart Academy Data Analytics course helped facilitate my career switch to a project management role within the IT industry. The course offers a flexible class schedule, allowing me to upskill without disrupting my work commitment. I was also impressed with the feedback received from past course attendees. The lessons were interesting, with daily quizzes to help learners recap the topic. Learning new concepts such as Python can be overwhelming for beginners like me, but the instructor was able to break down the information into digestible chunks. If I were to summarize my experience at Smart Academy in one word, it will be enriching.
Thank you. Okay, so as you can see from this video here by the testimony by Shirley, right, is that attending one of our tech courses doesn't mean that you necessarily need to take up a technical role. You can actually even take on other kinds of support roles like a project manager within the tech industry as well. So it doesn't mean that if you take a data analytics course with us, you will end up having to be a data analyst in your next job. Yes, next slide, please.
Hi, my name is Shirley. I was from the social service industry, helping individuals with disabilities to find employment.
Just 1 second, I'm trying to move it.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, great. So this second sharing here is by Alicia. She actually attended our Intro to Digital Marketing course, and because of what she has learned from our course, right, she actually managed to progress further within her own company. So without further ado, let's start the video so that we can hear what she says.
My name is Alicia. I've progressed professionally at work and received a pay raise after completing the Smart Academy's Intro to Digital Marketing course. The course helped me gain an in-depth knowledge of digital marketing, such as SEO and SEM. This enables me to understand and converse well with marketing agencies, as well as explain it to my management. The course with Smart Academy has given me the confidence to lead my current company in today's digital market trend. With the knowledge gained from the course, I'm looking forward to bringing my company to greater heights. If I were to summarize my experience at Smart Academy in one word, it would be amazing.
Yes, thank you. So this sharing by Alicia shows that actually what you learn from any courses that you take, whether it be our tech courses from Smart Academy or even some of the other course offerings by other companies, all these skills that you learn actually will be able to help you out either within your current company or even if you wish to switch to another career or job outside the company. So you don't only need to take courses only to plan to switch to another company or to learn something new. Sometimes it can be used to support what you can already offer to your company. And yeah, can we move to the okay, so this final video here is by Anthony. He's currently SMU student and he actually took the Intro to User Experience Design course with us while he was in NS. So let's hear what Anthony has to say.
My name is Anthony. The Smart Academy UX Design course helped me clinch a 6-month design stint with Shopee after NS. Right now, I'm pursuing my degree at SMU and I will be joining GovTech for a UX design internship in the coming summer. I enjoyed how well-paced the lessons were, making them easy to digest what to do in each stage of the design thinking process. The instructor even went out of his way to review our projects and provide invaluable feedback after lessons. He was clear in his explanation and imparted useful skills like storyboarding and competitive audits. Yes, GPA can only take you so far. Gaining some hard skills, especially ones that are in demand right now, will definitely give you an edge when you are hunting for internships and even full-time jobs. If I were to summarize my experience at Smart Academy in one word, it will be eye-opening.
Yes, so Anthony sharing, I think he mentioned something about the projects that are done during the course itself, right? So I'm pretty sure that, in the course of applying and getting a job, right, you'll run into this conundrum where, your employers check in with you on whether you have experience or because they want to see whether you can actually take on the job and do what they want you to do in your job role. So in most of the cases, if we don't really upskill ourselves or take courses, right, we will not be able to show that we have the experience, especially for the very first jobs that we want to get. So our courses here actually, we actually have all our participants actually do a capstone project. And this capstone project actually helps to kickstart their portfolio of projects and skills that they do, because whatever capstone project that you have done with us after the assessment is over, those are your capstone projects. Those are the things that you can actually add on to your portfolio to show that, hey, I have done this course, I have learned how to do this entire set of things, and this is something tangible that I can show to your potential future employers about what you have learned and what you can do. Yes, next slide, please. Okay, I'm not sure whether you remember this quote from our Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong. think he mentioned about how we actually may face a world recession within the next 2 years. So in this, from this situation here, right, I would actually like to make a quick here that even after we have managed to find our next job role or to settle into a job, right, we actually cannot really rest in our position, because with the world, with so much economic challenges and with the tightening policies by central banks and the global recession that is coming up, we actually need to make ourselves stay competitive and relevant ahead of our other colleagues around us, because in order to really maintain our current job role or to grow in our company itself, right, we do need to make sure that we have the relevant skill sets. We need to be able to adapt to the changing times, especially as tech becomes an even greater part of our workforce and affects our office more. So next slide, please. Yes, so the solution to this is that we do need to look out into the industry, all of the industries outside, and see what are the top in-demand skills that all the employees across the different sectors are looking out for. Now, I think you can see from the slide here, some of the top skills are data analysis, digital marketing, web app design and development. But what I wanted to really mention here is that Smart Academy does all of this research for you. If you actually, we have a link to our website later on, but if you go onto our website, you will be able to see that we do have statistics about the growing trends in the companies done, and all of the courses that we offer you, we are constantly developing new courses. All of the courses that are offered are those that are in demand by your employers. So if you really want to look out for what is being demanded by employers, right, look no further, because Smart Academy will does all this research and brings courses that give you the skills that you need to you. Yes, next slide, please. Yeah, so these are some of the companies that have hired our alumni. So you can see some pretty big companies there like Coca-Cola, DBS, Grab, UOB, Salesforce. So if you actually attend our courses and you work on your portfolio, these are the companies that you can expect to be hired in the future. And yes, and these are some of the partners that we work with. So we do work with them on different aspects. For example, for SMU and NTU, right, we provide career development workshops for their students. And some of the other companies like SBF, Nebo, Shopee, we do provide upskilling courses for their employees. Next slide. Okay, so Smart Academy is actually accredited under the Institute of Banking and Finance under their standards training scheme. So you can be assured that the content that we're actually bringing out to you are actually recognized by the Institute of Banking and Finance. And if you are actually worried about the cost of the course fees, right? Can we move to the next slide? Yes. So if you're actually worried about the cost of the course fees, not to worry, because if you are eligible, you can get up to 90% IBF funding support. So in order to find out whether you are eligible or not, I would really recommend that maybe you write into us to let us know, then we can let you know how much of the funding support you are actually eligible for. Okay, and I remember earlier I mentioned about the career support and industry placement assistance. So what we actually do for our alumni, those who have completed our courses, is that we have partnered with various companies from the different industry, and we actually collate like all the job opportunities and job openings from our partners, and we blast them out into an alumni channel. So once you have finished your course with Smart Academy, we will actually give you the invite link to our alumni channel where you'll be able to get all of these resources. And anytime we have newer in-demand courses that you might want to attend, we will also blast out this news and information. So you do get priority access to all of these job openings and the courses that we have offered. And we do also offer this industry placement assistance where, if you are still building up your portfolio, you can actually join us for this industry placement assistance where you get to work with one of our partners for 2 to 4 weeks on a project. So this project will end up being something in your portfolio that you can show to your future employers. But a small little disclaimer is that we do not guarantee that you will get a placement or a job offer, but we will try our best to match you up with a suitable, one of our suitable partners for this lah. Okay, and this is the last slide in my presentation already, and it's the perfunctory. Contact us if you have any questions. So, if you do have any burning questions and they cannot be answered within the Q&A time that we have, right? You can actually just scan the QR code or come onto our website, smartacademy.sg, yes, to actually send in your inquiries. Either me or one of my colleagues will actually reach out to you to help to answer your questions or to provide you with any assistance that you require. Yes, so.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ashley, for the
No
insightful
problem.
sharing. So, guys, we're opening up the floor to questions right now. So, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Ashley, just feel free to unmute yourself to ask, or you can also pop them into the Q&A box, the chat box on the side of your screen. Okay. Meanwhile, let me also refer to some of the more FAQs, like frequently asked questions, so that, in case people are shy, it will be good to cover through. So, okay, for example, if someone has no background in data analytics, will it be hard to catch up with the pace of the class?
I see, that's a very good question. And actually, that's a concern that many of our trainees do have. And what I can say is that you can be very rest assured that our courses, they're educated towards beginners. And although you might be touching on a little bit of Python coding and a little bit of hard concepts, right? We do have our teaching assistants available for you to reach out to all the, even outside the lessons. So anytime you have a question, you can just text them into the group chat that we have for our trainees, or to text them to one of our teaching assistants.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
sorry, can I add on one quote
of
to
course.
the answer? I think to anyone who feels like, very afraid to take that first step to take on any courses because you're afraid that the course might be too hard, right? I actually do have this one quote that stands out very strongly to me, is that, the journey of 1,000 miles always begins with a single step. Yeah. So in that case, Smart Academy hopes to be that very first step for you to take by, smoothing out the learning curve for everyone. So if you're afraid, just always think about it. You always need to take the first step in order to progress and walk a long distance.
Okay. Another question. Oops, sorry. Another question that we have is that how are the students graded? Are there project work, or is it like by exams?
That's a very good question as well. I think I mentioned during the presentation earlier about the capstone project, right? So for most of our courses, right, the capstone project is the main form of assessment. So they will touch on the skills that you will learn from the course, and then you will work on the capstone project with either your group members or yourself throughout the course with the assistance of our instructor and teaching assistant. So that is the main form of grading. But for our data analytics courses, there is an additional assessment, which is a MCQ quiz that needs to be passed 3 out of 6 of the quizzes. But not to worry, because if apart from the teaching assistants, right, there are also video recordings and playbacks of our lessons that you can actually watch at your own time in case you need to recap on some of the skills that have been taught by an instructor, or you need a repeat of some of the things that have been taught.
Okay. What kind of career support is there after the completion of the courses? Because I remember you saying that, you guys will try to place the learners in real companies. So is that during the course itself, or it will be after the completion of the course?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm Louis, Ashley's colleague. Maybe I help to chip in that question.
Sure.
So actually, in terms of the career support, right, usually is after they attended the course, and then, like he mentioned, we will be sharing all the career opportunities from our partners to the alumni channel. And then if you talk about the IPA, Industry Placement Assistants, we will try to match them with our industry placement, industry partners if they're keen. So when they are signing up for the course, they will have indicated that, I would like to be considered for the industry placement assistant. Then we will take one step further to try to match them with our partners. But of course, all these things, we try to do it to best effort. We can't really guarantee whether the partners will be hiring at that point of time, but we'll always try our best to match you, because our students' success will be the company success as well. So we definitely want them to, get hired, take a new leap into a new industry and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay. So how long is this support for? Is it like within the first 1 month after they finish the course, or will it be like maybe the first year they finished, or how long is this validity?
So usually we will try to assist them within 6 months after completion of the course. Yeah, we'll try to our best effort to assist them. So it's hand in hand, I would say, because if they were to, find a job, then it will also mean that we have done the job right. Yeah.
Okay. What is the course actually in physical like classroom, or is it online?
Currently,
Okay.
Ashley, please.
So sorry. Yes. Actually, our classes are conducted online. So because of that, right, there's actually no physical restraints. Like I think many of us might be attending the courses even as we attend other courses or within our busy lives, right? So if there is a physical location, it might be very hard to rush to the classes. So we do offer all our trainees the option of, attending the class from online, maybe after work, or maybe even as they are fulfilling their commitments in their everyday lives. Like it's really to lower the barrier for everyone to upskill and to learn from our courses.
Okay, yeah, because that was my next question. What are the class schedule like? Because I think a lot of people either have full-time jobs or part-time jobs, right? Or have family commitments. So what does a typical class schedule look like?
I see. So typically for most of our sorry, my doorbell is ringing. Never mind, I'll answer the question first. Yeah. So typically for most of the lessons that we conduct, right, they are always conducted during weekends. Most of the time it's always during weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So you either get to choose between a morning slot, which is 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., or an afternoon slot, which is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Most of our standard courses run for 8 lessons of 3-hour lessons. So they will all be completed within a monthly intake. So you have about four weeks of lessons with us, and then about 1 week after that to wrap up on your capstone project and submit it to us.
Okay, sounds good. So is there any certification like awarded upon the completion of the class?
Yes, there will be a certificate that is awarded, and actually your grade from your capstone project, right, will appear on your certificate. So for example, if you manage to do a really good capstone project because you're very inspired and motivated, right, you will see a distinction on the certificate. So it goes to show, it goes a long way in showing that you have not only attended our course, you have actually excelled for our course as well.
Okay, but what if for people who didn't get such a fantastic grade, will their grade still be shown?
Yes, the grade will still be shown on the certificate. Not to worry, because the certificate, right, is something that you can actually show the employees, to your future employers, right, to show that you have actually attended the course, and you have completed the course, and you actually have completed our capstone project as well. That shows that you have met these basic expectations of being able to do all of these things, that the skills we have taught you can help you to do.
Okay. So what if somebody misses the lessons, due to work commitments or family commitments, right? Do they get to attend like a remedial lesson, or how does it work?
Okay, so if you actually end up missing one or more of our lessons, I think I mentioned earlier that we do actually record all of the lessons that are conducted. So within the next working day after the lesson is over, right, the video will already be uploaded onto the Google Drive. So trainees who have missed lessons, they can actually go back and watch the lesson again at their own time. But because of the IBF funding support that I mentioned earlier, right, would like to just put in a disclaimer that there is a minimum attendance that you need to meet throughout the whole course in order to qualify for the funding support.
Okay, but yeah, what if in events where it couldn't be avoided then is it possible that they get an exemption, or it's compulsory they must have attended?
I see. That's a very good question. So I think if there really is such incidences where there are unavoidable emergencies or events that you need to attend to, my suggestion would be for you to reach out to the admin or the operations staff that has been in contact with you as soon as possible to see how we can assist with making alternative arrangements. But all these are on a case-by-case basis, because right here at Smart Academy, we do understand that, everyone who attends our courses, they might be working individuals, they might have a lot of commitments elsewhere. So we might be able to help them with making alternative arrangements for their attendance, but you do need to reach out to us early so that there's time for us to help you out as well.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think that's about it. Are there any other questions from the audience? If not, I think we will close off for the session. Okay. If there are no further questions, thank you very much, Ashley, for your time today and for sharing all the information around Smart Academy and the different courses that you have.
Yes,
If you guys
thank you,
have
Suk.
Thank you. If anybody has further questions, you can feel free to reach out to them on the previous slide about contact us. And then from here, we will actually be moving on to the next sector, early childhood education. All right. Thanks, Ashley. Okay, so now we'll be sharing some insights around early childhood education. And then it will be followed by a presentation from Maslia from KLC International Institute. So before that, we would also like to find out actually how many have you considered a career in early childhood education before. So we're gonna launch a quick poll on the side of the screen, and then you can actually put in, whether you have or you have not. So I'll leave the poll on for a little bit longer so that you can take your time to, put in your answer. Let me see how's it going. Oh, this one is quite different from the other. So most of you have never considered career in early childhood education, but the majority of you are open to learn more. So it's great that you're here at the right place, because I think early childhood education, even for me personally, I don't have a lot of information about it. So it's always something that I feel everybody can understand a little bit better. Then you can see the level of opportunity that's available in this sector lah. Okay, so let me just go into the slides first. So the number of early childhood jobs that have been posted on Fast Jobs has seen the largest increase out of the three industries that we shared for today. So the increase has been 22%, from 90 in the last quarter last year to 110. And one of the main reasons I would say is attributed to the fact that, lots of people are going back to work. So all the parents, are unable to work from home anymore, required to go back to office, hence will require, support in caretaking for their children. Also, a lot of the kids that were, so-called like born during COVID would be around the right time, 2-3 years old. So hence going into kindergarten and things like that. And this is all attributing to the rise in demand for the job openings in this sector. So for the median salary of early childhood education, we are looking at currently it is now 2,650. So the top 5% is also around $4,000. So I would say for this sector, right, the rewarding part is not just in terms of salary, but it's also in terms of fulfillment, because you do get a sense of achievement when you are, looking after children, helping their development, seeing their growth day to day. Some of the common job titles that we have on our platform will be like infant care teacher, kindergarten staff, Chinese language teacher, or education sales consultant even. So this is more around not the actual teaching of the kids, but around the business, developing the business lah. So if you're looking for jobs on early childhood, right, these are some of the terms that you can key in to search for it. Okay, so without further ado, Maslia, are you here in the call? Hi, Maslia, I see you. You need to unmute yourself. Then we can hear you. So you're currently muted. Yes.
Can you
great.
hear me now?
Yes, fantastic.
All right.
All of us can hear you. So yeah, she's a senior lecturer at KLC. So I'm gonna pass over the mic to her. So Aslia, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, my dear. And good afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Early Childhood. My name is Masla bint Abdurrahman, and you can call me Masla. All right. So the thing is that I'll be walking through with you about the career in Singapore in terms of early childhood sector. Yeah. So change. All right. So KLC, where I am currently working, and I'm also one of the teaching faculty. All right. So the thing is that we are one of the pioneers and still standing strong, right, Angie, in supporting the early childhood sectors in terms of training our next generation of teachers and also our teachers here. And we also provide manpower needs since 1988. All right. So my colleague like Joe and Angie, they are the one that helping. If let's say you have any queries regarding about career, okay, they will be the one. They are able to provide that. Yeah. And then the thing is that they also will be able to find for you job matching in terms of placement, because thing is that we do how to say liaise with the big players, or sometimes we call it as the anchor operator, and also we also liaise with the private childcare center. So among we also provide certificate in terms of ECCE and also diploma. So we do provide both English and Chinese. So and these certificate, yeah, accredited by SSG and AGDA. So although we are private training institute, right, our certificate guaranteed is what do you call it, recognized. Yeah. All right. So next, please. Okay. So the thing is that I'll try to my best to walk through it as much as I can, the why, how, the what, and where do I go from here in terms of early childhood. So thing is that I'm very happy to say that I've started in this industry since 1989. All right. So thing is that I started as an assistant teacher, and here I am still working, still strong in terms of early childhood. And I hope that one day when I retire, I still will retire in early childhood. So you may be wondering why. Okay. Number one, I think you cannot deny, right? Although early childhood has changed, progress. Okay. So if you ask me, yes, we have been evolving and still evolving. We are still progressing. So, but one thing for sure, children in their heart never change. Beautiful, all right, in and out. So thing is that I would say that I'm very proud to say that we are, all right, outside their parents. We are the very first teacher, all right, to see them, to unfold all their talents. And if I were to borrow what my lecturers say, we can be considered as the brain developer for our young children, from someone who doesn't know how to talk to someone who can actually answer you back, from someone who doesn't know how to crawl, they can walk, they can run, they can jump, and who knows, they can be our future prime minister. Yeah. So thing is that won't play hard. These are the next generation. All right. So thing is that in short, right, all right, so thing is that it's rewarding, because I have my ex students who come to me and say, hey, Miss Mas, you taught me in kindergarten all this thing. Yeah. All right. So next, please. All right. So thing is that of course the thing is that, like, okay, now the next question you will say that, where do I go from here? What do I do? Okay. So thing is that you don't just stagnant as a teacher. All right. So thing is that there is a career path for you, which I will elaborate more on that. But definitely one thing for sure, if you want to grow yourself, definitely you have to go for courses lah. And these courses, most of these courses, right, KLC, we do provide you. All right, we provide for you. Right, next, please. All right. So the thing is that now you will be wondering, am I qualified? All right, am I? Okay. What is it? All right. These are some of the P's that you ask yourself. Do you have that? Do you have passion for working with young children? Do you have the patience? Because, right, if you have 5 children in your class, I can guarantee you 5 different types of children, because each child is unique. All right. And then the thing is that are you pragmatic? Are you, how to say, take the challenge? Because, right, children sometimes they ask a very random question. One of the question they will ask me, Miss Mas, where do baby come from? Very good question. I also don't know how to answer, right? So thing is, and they are the best critic. If you want to ask, never ask your friend. They will just say, oh, you look beautiful, but behind you are, but my children will ask me, how come you always wear t-shirt and jeans? Why is it your hair always short? All right. So they are actually the best critic. That's why I love working with young children. And then the thing is that, of course, you need to work partnership with families. All right. And on top of that, you got to work with various agency like AGDA, all right, and parks, all these things. Yeah. Okay. Then the thing is that, of course, more or less, you need to be proficient in oral communication. So when we talk about proficient, I'm not saying about you need to be like, those London Bridge kind of English. Oh, hello, darling. How are you? No, all right. As long as the English, right, can be understood. I can understand all the things. But of course, the thing is that, nowadays parents are also, they how to say, they know that early childhood is really very important. So definitely they are asking for more. All right. Then, of course, personality. Hey, if your personality, you got positive attitude, come and join the early childhood. We need you, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, maybe. Yeah. All right, then the next one. All right. Next, please. You might be wondering what is a day like in the childcare center. Okay, depending on the organization. Okay, so thing is that we work in shift. All right, so thing is that the shift basically generally 7 to 5, 8 to 6, 9 to 7, 10 to 7. All right, so thing is that Saturdays we do work, but not every Saturday. Yeah, so thing is that basically what do we do? 7 o'clock, I call it as the immigration checkpoint. All right, where the border comes, and then you got to check whether they're okay to go in or not. Now with the COVID, right? If you hachu, sorry, you are rejected. All right, so we will check the health check, and then we also provide breakfast. So breakfast, lunch, and tea break we do provide for our children. And then the thing is that between 9 to 11:30, we call it as the curriculum time. Adult call it as the lesson time, the study time, but we call it as curriculum time. So this is where you will, how to say, conduct outdoor activity, music and movement, art, all right, language and literacy, numeracy. Then you will say that, I'm not good in music, I'm not good in that. Don't worry, KLC, we are here for you, all right? We do have module curriculum for you, whereby, I always say that we are a jack of all trades, but master in early childhood. So yes, we will teach you the basic thing. Definitely confirm, double confirm, I can tell you, you won't become a Yamaha lah, but you can at least conduct a decent music and movement for our young children. And then we also have shower time. So the next question you will ask, how about the infant? All right, the infant, you don't definitely you don't teach art and music, right? When they cannot even crawl, right? So what we'll do, okay, we will teach you the best practices. Okay, we will talk about routine, which is very important. So if there's mother here, right, this is a good time for you to learn, because we will teach you that during the routine, like bath time, all right, diapering time, this is where the curriculum comes in. When you talk to children, you talk about language, you talk about numeracy, when you sing song to them. All right, so we also teach you about the best practices in terms of diapering, bathing. Yes, that is so called best practices in all these things. Yeah. So next one, please. So then, of course, we have lunchtime. So normally, depending on organization, when I was back as a principal, I always encourage my teachers to eat together with the children, because we are telling the children what you eat is what I eat. All right. So children see us like a demigod. Whatever we say is golden for them. Yeah. So the thing is that they see teacher eat vegetable, they will also eat vegetable. Then of course they have nap time. This is one of the basic things that we ensure children must sleep. Yeah. Then of course after their nap time, that's where the so-called the lesson continues. But of course between 6 to 7, that's where the so-called the children start to go home. The parents start to bring them home one by one. So 6 to 7, normally there is no proper lesson, because this is where parents will start to fetch the children, and it depends. If let's say you happen to be the form teacher, this is where so-called, I call it is the the chatting time, the catch up time, whereby sometimes we share information. Yeah. Next one, please. All right. So thing is that, like I mentioned, where do I go from here? All right. So see myself, right, from assistant teacher, now I'm still a teacher. So thing is that, of course, the thing is that, okay, it doesn't state it here, right? In some organization, there's two career path. One is the leadership, whereby I go for the leadership track, assistant teacher, senior teacher, principal, cluster principal, and then you go cluster principal. All right. So if you want to go forward, you can become a trainer or lecturer. Then the other career path, which I think is not included here, is the curriculum. So if you're interested in curriculum, yes, there is a curriculum depending on the organization, because my ex-staff also, they prefer to go curriculum. They don't want to become a leader. So thing is that they go. So thing is that at the end of the day, whichever career path you take, right, you still have to go for some courses. All right. So next, please. Okay, this part, all right. So this is where we talk about work and study, all right. So you don't have to worry about money, all right. The only thing that you need to worry is to pay attention in my class, all right. So if you don't pay attention to my class, I will put you into the naughty corner, all right. So thing is that if you are work and study, you are considered as full-time employee, monthly salary, you don't have to worry, because your center will pay for your course fee, so you don't have to worry. Yeah. So the thing is that practicum, yes, we have internship after you study. Then of course we want to see how you perform at the childcare center. So that's where we call it as practicum or internship. All right. So the thing is that yes, you need to go for medical checkup before you can embark in this industry. Yeah. And definitely lah, if your center pay for you, bond lah. Where got center don't bond, right? Okay. So thing is that definitely will be bonded. All right. Okay. Then the next one, please. Okay. So thing is that these are some of the criteria. You need to be a Singapore citizen or a permanent resident at least 21 years and above. So the thing is that what do you call it? What the minimum course entry requirement, we were based on the academic qualification. So that means it will be O level, A level, and poly. Correct me if I'm wrong. NG. All right. Okay, NG is nodding. Okay, because this one is her forte, not my forte. I only know how to talk. Okay, come next one, please. Right. Okay. So what are the courses available and entry requirement? All right. So thing is that just now I did mention, right? Earliest and preschoolers. Okay. Earliest are 2 months to 36 months. We call them as earliest. All right. And then the 4, 5, 6 years old, these are considered as the preschoolers. So you ask yourself, okay, based on your academic qualification, which one you qualified to go? All right. Say for example, right, you have minimum of Sec 2, all right, or completed 8 years of formal education. So you go for the early years whereby you will be in the infant setting. So infant setting, right, it's between 2 months right up to 17 months. Yeah. So the thing is that full-time course, very fast one, 5 months only. I always tell my student, no need to think about the months. Think about Hari Raya Chinese New Year. Confirm very fast. All right, 5 months. But if let's say you find that 5 months so very stressful because it's every day, go for the relaxed one. That will be 8 months part-time. So normally our part-time will be in the evening classes. That will be 6:30 to 9:30. So our classes can be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Yeah. So this is the HCIC. We call it as the HCIC. Next one, please. So then the next one, all right. So if you meet this, right, secondary 4, you can go for the ACEY. What's the difference between ACEY and HCIC? Okay, HCIC, you will be at the infant center, whereas ACEY, you can be the form teacher at the childcare center between 18 months to 3 years old. So you are considered as a versatile in the sense that I are very tired of childcare, right? You go and run to your infant. And if you're very tired with infant, you can go to childcare. So for this one, the full time will be 10 months only. The part-time again, 16 months. So definitely the duration is longer than the HCIC. Yeah. Okay, then the next one, please. Then, of course, the diploma, the preschoolers, all right? So this one, if you have the 5O level, yeah? So this is where, what do you call it? You can be in charge of children, all right? Form teachers, so-called, all right? Between 18 months right up to 6 years old, all right? So thing is that this one is 1,200 hours. So definitely you will see that how come the number is almost double. The reason why is because for the diploma, we have the earliest, that means like the HCIC, and then on top of that, we have the preschoolers. So thing is that that's the reason why the hours are much, much, much longer. All right. So then, so I think that's about it. All right. So the next slide will be, I think the next slide, right? Okay, this one, the testimonial, because I've seen some of my ex students from KLC, they do keep in touch with me, and now some of them become my friends also. All right, so sometimes I need their help, they say no problem. All right, so early childhood, small industry, but how to say, we kind of we always fall back to one another, right? The last slide will be, I think the last slide, yeah. So if let's say, right, you are interested, right, you can always call this number. You can even visit our website where you will see all my colleague faces there and all their numbers there. So every time, except don't call them at night lah, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., right? Not NG, you need to sleep, right? But thing is that can call them lah. All right, because like in terms of money matters, bond, all these things, they be the better person. All right, so with that, huffing and puffing, between 10 minutes, I time myself. Okay, with that, right? Any question? Feel free to ask us. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Mas. That was a fantastic sharing, very lively. I
Thank
think
you.
everybody really appreciated the energy. All right, so I'll open up the floor for questions. Guys, if there's anything that you'd like to ask, feel free to pop them out. Pop the questions into the group, the chat box over here. If not, you can also feel free to unmute yourself and ask Mas directly. Just leave it here first. If not, let me run through and see if there are any frequently asked questions as well, so that we can get more information out for everyone here. Okay. I think everybody is very entertained and very appreciative.
Early childhood. So you need to have that attitude.
Okay, so are the course assessments demanding, and are there any examinations?
G, you want to answer?
Yeah, you can answer because you're the lecturer. Basically for the third level, good news, no exams. But except for diploma level, you may have maybe one or two. Most of them are project assignments, right? Okay, so we teach to pass, but of course you have to do your part, okay? Yeah. So if you do have any question, you can always email to us. You can find my numbers in my website as well. That if you want to have a personal pre-course counseling, here we can speak to you one-to-one. Yeah.
Okay. So are there any school term holiday breaks throughout the course? Because some of them are like 5 to 6 months, right? Is there any holiday in between?
Oh, if you want holiday, then our course will drag even longer, and most people will want the course to be shorter. So we try to, maximize as short as possible. So it's very intensive for the full time, unless you find like what Mas has said. If you find that very pressurized, every day got to go for class, you rather take it slightly slow a bit, then you may opt for part time. Okay, but if you are looking for a career conversion program where you want to work and study at the same time, you want to be employed by the childcare center, course fee will be paid by the employer, and you get a monthly salary. Of course, it will be in the daytime. Okay, nighttime is basically for you if you want to take up on your own. You prefer to be more comfortable self-paying your cost. So you're welcome. Yeah. So no holidays. Usually we have at the end, not so bad. Year end where season, right? Festive season like Christmas. That's where we have 1 week holiday, 24th of December to 1st of January. Okay. Sometimes along the way in the module in between, we have 1 or 2 days, that kind of thing. Yeah, the break. Yeah. So you just look at your schedule, but not long break for you to plan for holidays. So if you want to go for holiday, I suggest you go first and then you join the class.
Okay.
Or you work so hard, after that, you plan for holiday. Yeah.
Okay,
Work
so
hard, study harder. Okay.
okay, so one of the questions someone just asked is, are foreigners eligible to apply for these courses?
Foreigners, if you are holding work pass, you must be related to this industry. All right. If you are not related, sorry, there's a change of this policy that you cannot enroll for the course. But if you are on dependent pass or long-term visit pass, you can actually register. Yep. But of course, funding will only apply to Singaporean and PR.
Okay, so for the full-time course, right, is it like an online course or is it like there's practical as well, like in-person?
Basically, right now, by default is online through Zoom, except for practical. Okay, you need to be hands-on at the childcare centers to practice. So again, it depends, in times to come, if the government requires that you have to go for face-to-face, we may suggest certain, hands-on module, maybe for a few days that you at least get to meet or something like that. Yeah. But for now, by default, is online.
All right, thank you. Ellen, you raised your hand. Do you want to ask a question? HPW, how cannot take part? Sir?
Sorry, how cannot take part because
Sorry, do you mind repeating your question again, Ellen? Okay. Okay, never mind. We will move on to another question.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So what will happen if like halfway through, right? The person needs to withdraw from the course. Oh, how old cannot take part? Okay, Ellen will come back to your question later. Okay. Yeah, so what will happen if, somebody has to withdraw from the course due to unforeseen circumstances?
Okay, because if you are sponsor, if you are Singaporean and a permanent resident and you are being funded, so the criteria for having this funding, you have to successfully complete the course. So in the event if you cannot complete the course, then the funding no longer applies. So we will charge you according at the point when you withdraw, prorated according to your fees, according to the number of hours that you have covered. So it's better you consider very carefully before joining in if you want to enjoy the funding. Yeah.
Okay. So Ellen's question was how old? Is there any age restriction as to doing this course?
Very important. Physically, you have to be very fit to work with children.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that so that we get a better understanding of the
Can I
requirement?
pass it to Mas to help
Okay,
you?
because children, right? You take one step, they take 10 steps further from you, right? So thing is that before you can do one step, they already 10 steps away, right? So thing is that especially if you're talking about the toddlers, whereby they are very very quick. So thing is that like Angie say, physically, are you able to do that? Because thing is that you're not taking care of one child, okay? You're taking care in a class of like maybe perhaps 8 children, depending on the age group. So for the younger they are, the smaller the number is. All right. So thing is that if you find that you can have strong arm, all this thing, go ahead. But the thing is that it can be demanding also lah, because especially for the toddlers, right? Whereby I would say they are 24/7. Their battery is really, really more than 100%, right? But at the end of the day, if you feel that you are physically fit, right, I don't think so. There's any criteria. Not that I am aware of, lah. All right. Not that I am aware of about the cutoff age, right? And not NG. I think so far we don't have. We do
Yeah.
have 60-year-old candidate, right? Taking the fundamental cert. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as this person love to work with children, very active, physically very fit, I think it's okay.
Oh yeah, so one of the questions is even as a foreigner, they are able to apply for the fully paid course, right? So that at least they can still join.
Yeah, they can still join full fees. If they need to apply student pass, we can help to assist to apply student pass. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's say if you finish the course already, right? Do you get placement into the school directly, or you have to still apply for early childhood education teacher role?
Basically, just now, Mas mentioned that we do offer career conversion program. Before you embark onto the program, you need to be employed by the childcare first. All right, confirm the vacancy, and then the childcare center will sponsor the applicants for the course. So you have to be employed. So if let's say the applicant need assistance for job referral, here we comes in, we can assist for job referral.
Okay.
And for those who join, the course on their own, self-fund, at the end of the course they completed and you need help for a job, can always come to us. We have a student support services. A lot of childcare are looking for people who are trained. Yeah, there are always that job vacancy out there. Very got potential there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Based on our data also, the number of jobs has really increased.
As long as got children, right? Confirm our job is there also. Because I don't think so. No children, right? No children cannot, right? Okay. So and then one more thing is that during the practicum, right? Because we will also be helping them to look. If let's say those self-sponsored, right? So on KLC part, right, we will have to find. All right. And the thing is that I always advise my students that this is the time where you show that that I can do. So sometimes it can be their potential employer. So I do have students whereby the center that they are attached to, they just grab them and they say that, hey, Miss Mas, once I finish, I'm going to work for this center. Then I would say it's good. So thing is that what do you call it? Yes, definitely this industry is really, really, how to say, hot cake lah, I would say, in terms of job lah. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Are there any other questions from the audience here? No? If there are any further questions, remember you can contact KLC directly over here. Okay, great. You will be expecting one call. Okay, yeah. So if there are any questions, you can scan the QR code or email them or call them. And if not, I think we will close off here. Thank you so much, Mas and Angie, for the wonderful
Welcome.
sharing. All right, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so basically, we would like to close off as well. So just want to reiterate the fact that now is really the best time to upskill for better career opportunities. So let's say if you're facing some point where you're stuck and you don't know what to do, or you've reached a plateau in whatever your career is right now, consider making a switch. It's never too late to learn, especially after all the sharing from the different training providers here today, as well as the data that we have that these are the sectors that are really growing, very strong demand. So you can almost be very assured that you will get a job with the right qualifications. So thank you so much for taking the time out today. If I could just get you to scan the QR code here to help us do a quick 5-minute survey, regarding the webinar that you've just attended, it will really, really help us improve, for future events. It will also let us know whether you are okay to hear back further information from some of the training providers that we have here. Also regarding all those questions around the goodie bag, so yes, we will be contacting those who are among the first 50 to sign up and to actually attend throughout the webinar today. So please look out for our email. Check your email inbox if you are amongst the first 50, and then we will be providing further instructions there on how to collect. Okay, yeah, we've also put the link to the survey inside the chat box. In case you're not scanning the QR code, you can just click on the URL there. Then you can help us to complete this survey. You can also let us know further feedback, like in future, if there's any kind of other, webinar topics that you'd be interested about. We'll be sure to try and organize it. And we hope that you managed to take some insights away from the session today. Okay. Let's see if there's any other questions anywhere else. Okay. If there's any other questions that we didn't manage to answer today, we'll pass them directly to the training providers so that they can get in touch with you and help you out along the way. Because a lot of the training providers are very much well equipped to be able to have an assessment with you to see what's suitable for you, where your skill sets are at, even before you go and take the test and things like that. We will, if you have any other questions, we will actually pass them on to the training providers. Thank you everyone for attending. Okay, please help us to do this survey. Yeah, it will be really, really helpful for us. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for helping to do the survey. Right. Have a good evening ahead. I'll just keep the QR code here in case anyone is still working on it. But those that are done, you can feel free to drop off from the call. Thank you very, very much once again for your time today. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great evening too. Hope we managed to do the survey for us. Thanks. Thank you. Right, in case those of you who might have missed it, we're asking you to share your feedback with us by either scanning the QR code on the screen or just clicking on the URL in the chat box here. It's a quick 5-minute survey, just some questions around whether you found this webinar useful. just help us complete this survey so that we can improve for future events. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you. We'll see you at the next event. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope you did the survey. Have a good evening ahead. We'll be organizing different kinds of events in the future, so just keep a lookout for us. Taking the feedback from the survey, we will also try to improve. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll be closing off this webinar link in another 4 minutes, so at 5:50. So, if you want to exit the call or if you're still working on the survey, just complete it. Then you can drop off from the call. If not, we'll be closing the link very soon, the webinar link.